Shut up and sit down.
Alright guys,
Hello,
I'm Dodge.
I'm Andy, and we are Bigmeks Workshop and Paint Studio, apparently.
That was the first time you've ever got that right. Bit of a pause, but you're getting there.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'll get it right probably one day. So, what we're going to talk about today is a new case book. As you know, I am a long-time case player, and it's nice to get a book out very early on in the new with the new format, as traditionally case tend to be left out in the dark for a long time, just like orcs. And anyone not Imperial, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean orcs are apparently aren't getting one till nearly the end of the year or next year.
Well, to be fair, the orcs are looking pretty good in the index books at the minute.
There is a plus side to that though.
Yeah.
Hopefully by the time we get to doing the orcs, they'll have worked out all the tweaks with all the other rules and the orcs will be able to smash it.
Yeah, damn right. So we're going to be talking about the new, like I said, we're going to be talking about that new case book, which I've had a bit of a read through. I've not thoroughly gone through it from top to bottom, but it's only been out a couple of days, so I've not had a chance to.
Not had a chance. Not coming into work yesterday, which
well,
is why
yeah.
there's no video.
That's the reason why I pulled my leg out playing football with my little lad, so I couldn't get into work because I couldn't walk.
Yeah, but we're here now.
Yeah.
So a bit later than anticipated, but let's crack on.
Yeah. So we're going to start off with the stuff what's missing. The FAQ's already been out now, so things like the mounted Chaos Lords and the sorcerers in on bikes and things like that. They are currently still in the index. GW have not released a new rule set for them, and they've actually just turned around and said, look, if you want to use them, use the index book's rules.
You'd think they'd include everything.
Yeah.
I mean, they've put a lot of work into this book.
And loads of new artwork.
I know some of you probably haven't got your Codex yet, or if you have and you've had a look through it, the layout, the fluff, the artwork, and the painting jobs on everything's really, really nice. You'd think they'd have included all the data in one place.
You'd have thought so, but I think probably something to do with that court case you had a while back. So we can't put out a codex with stuff we haven't got figures for.
That's true.
So it's just a conversion job. You use the index rules. The index rules are pretty good anyway, so it's not a massive hardship.
Maybe it's a ploy by Games Workshop to sell more indexes.
It's quite possibly the case. Who knows?
When you're getting sued for like 62 million, you're gonna need to save them pennies somewhere.
Oh, that court case. I'm not going to go into that. It just seems a bit stupid.
We might do in another video, but I don't think that's our sort of thing.
Nah.
It sounds all
political
boring
and not interesting, and I couldn't care less. It's like someone's got an issue.
I'm sure they can afford it.
Yeah. So the stuff what's not in the book, what's currently in the index is still usable. You just have to use the index itself, which is nice. It means that you've still got the rules for it. So moving quickly on to the new stuff. Now, the new stuff is there's a new character, the Exalted Champion. He's a bit like a chaplain, but improved. It effectively gives everyone a lightning claw type buff. It gives everyone rerolls to wounds around him.
Who is this one again?
That's the Exalted Champion. So he's got the same sort of stat line as the Dark Apostle. Very fighty. He hasn't got an inbun. He can't get one.
Has he got a figure now?
It's just a Chaos Champion.
Yeah.
Very fighty character. Hits really hard, but he's quite fragile without having an inbun. But he offers a really nice buff to reroll failed to wounds in combat, which is quite tasty.
There's a lot of that now with the captains, all these bubbles, which actually make the game play more strategically as movement. Yeah. You're not just running your character over there so you can hit something that's weak because you need everyone else to go where the bubble is to benefit them. Like, it's a bit off topic, I was playing our Stu the other day. Necro, Death Marks, took out the Pain Boy straight away in turn 1, turn 2, and my orcs just dropped like flies after that.
Yeah.
The characters are well worth it.
Yeah, the little buffs what the characters offer are really nice. They're all very similar buffs from what I've seen so far, but that's cool anyway. It means
I think
everyone's
it
on the
lends
same.
to memory. You
Yeah.
can sort of memorise them easy. What buffs are available, and
Yeah.
eventually that'll sink into who has that type of buff.
And it keeps everyone on the same sort of playing field as well.
Yeah.
You can't, if everyone's getting similar buffs in similar ways, then it makes the playing field a bit more level, which is nice.
Like Fabulous Bill.
Fabulous Bill. Oh, I love that dude.
Yeah, pretty cool. But his buff and abilities have got a downside now.
Yeah, he kills his mates, which is chaosy.
But it's very similar to Illuminor Soares, but he doesn't have a downside to his.
Yeah.
Illuminor Soares from the Necrons, if you don't know who that is.
Yeah.
It's a very similar buff.
So
but it fits the fluff with
it fits
Fabius
the
Bills.
fluff. It fits the fluff. He actually goes out of his way to make becoming a Space Marine hard to survive. So it makes sense that he's going to kill stuff. And let's face it, we're Chaos. If you're a Chaos player, this is all good stuff anyway because you don't care. We're not the bad guys for that reason.
You're basically rolling 1 dice for each character. For each
model unit.
in the unit. On the roll of a 6, you take 1 mortal wound just a sec. Yeah, the unit will suffer 1 mortal wound. That's fair enough. But the benefits you can get from that, you're rolling a d3 after this, and the remaining unit get either swollen. What's that say?
Swollen musculature.
+1 strength. Yeah, you read those, man.
Calcific growth, +1 toughness, and berserk rage, +1 attack. Obviously, +1 attack is a great one. That'd be
You won't be
brilliant
getting
on
that
berserkers.
straight on your possessed or your berserkers.
Possessed would actually survive quite well with that because of the additional
2 wounds.
wound. So the mortal wounds won't be quite so catastrophic on them.
Then the possessed now would be rolling
A D3
a
and
d3 +1, so minimum of 2 attacks each.
and which is the they are one of the more improved units in the book. The additional wound really makes them more survivable, but that random attacks are still. I'm not keen on that. Should have been D3 +1 in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just to make them that bit more cool. Other stuff that's in there, some new stratagems. The stratagems are great. Add a lot of depth to the game. And if I just find them, they've got some very cool stuff. You've got your standard Chaos Marine generic stuff. You've got the standard in-game stuff like flak missiles for missile launchers, and you've got your Legion specific ones. Now the Legion specific ones have been covered to death. We all know what they do. The ones that I'll talk about.
You're not going to cover them?
Nah, been done to death.
Yep.
Yeah, GW did a good job of releasing all that lot.
Yeah, that's the problem with us getting codexes later.
Yeah.
We need to find someone who can give us
Yeah,
stuff before it's pre-ordered, so we can get on there with the channel.
So we'll talk about the more generic stuff. Now, the choice of giving your Marines a mark mid-game lends a lot of cool options, like using the mark and then casting a spell on them.
Yeah.
To make them more resilient or to make them hit harder.
That seems like it could be very strategic.
Yeah, gives you a lot of options for moving things around.
How much command points is it to add on a mark then?
To add on a mark is 1 command point. It's called Beseech the Dark Gods, and it has to be used on a undivided unit or model, and then you get, for the rest of the game, a mark.
I could see someone building an entirely undivided Chaos army and just using that stratagem to death by stacking all the points into lots of different battalions, and then just being like, right when I need it, I'm going to give them the mark of Khorne, then do this, and
Exactly.
your opponent's not going to know what's coming before it's too late.
It's, once you've got Beseech the Chaos Gods off, you can then hit them with Miasma of Pestilence, giving them -1 to hit, making them a unit tougher.
Yeah.
And you can also then use another 2 command points on Grandfather's Blessing, which will bring a model back up from the dead, or D3 wounds on a model that's already injured.
That's not bad for 2 command points.
So they really do synergise rather well. The Chaos Boons is still there, but it's now a strategy point, which for players like myself who who never wanted to use the Chaos Boons but had to anyway, is great. It gives me the choice of not doing it.
And it also gives the people that do like it the option to use it if they want to.
Exactly, yeah. It's still got the Spawn and the Demon Prince, but the other abilities are actually genuinely really good.
It's just 2d6 now instead of that
D66.
60 different bloody options.
They're all decent results. None of them stand out to me as being a waste of time, like, you know, Soul Blaze or Shred on a bloke with lightning claws.
Do you cast these on yourself?
Yeah, it's done in much the same way as it was done in the original ones. A Chaos character has to kill a character.
Sorry, I'm getting mixed up with Fabulous Bill again.
Yeah, Chaos character has to kill another character in the fight phase. After that, you spend a command point, you roll your 2 dice, you figure out what you're going to get. And they're all decent. It's like, you can go from...
Temporary distortion, add 3 to the character's movement characteristics. If you've got a close combat chaos, I don't know, like a Corn Army for example, adding an extra 3 to that character's movement.
Yeah, it really makes them get
Especially if you just want to jump into someone's gun line and stop them from shooting that turn.
There's Blade Master, subtract 1 to hit rolls in close combat from enemy attacks. So they're all decent results and not, like I say, +1 strength on a bolt pistol.
Oh, that was frustrating. So I've got a close combat guy, what's he got? +1 ballistic skill, +1 strength to his ranged weapon.
Which he didn't have, because he was a Terminator Sergeant with lightning claws.
Yeah, it was a bit. There was a lot more downside to the old boons than there are
Yes.
side. Oh, I've turned my lord into a spawn. Great. Now he's just gonna die.
That's it. And the spawn things are still there, but it's only on 2 dice. There's less chance of it happening, and you can also re-roll it as well because of the strategy points.
Yeah.
Then you've got the standard sort of line break bombardments and kill shot from what are the same as the Loyalist Marine versions. Just improving the damage output from Vindicators and Predators. I'm not quite sure how they're going to fit into the current game, as it does require you loads of the same vehicle, which is, in my opinion, boring. But hey, some people use them, some people don't.
There's a lot of interesting stuff in there. I mean, just the amount of options, and that's really what the game needs, is options so you can strategize. Because before 8th, in 7th, everything seemed to be getting all the armies seemed to be getting very similar in what they had and what they could do, and they didn't really, nothing really played like the army should have played, if that makes sense. Whereas these seem very chaotic and actually fit chaos extremely well.
They make them feel like Marines still, but with that chaos sort of slant to them.
Yeah.
There's a nice one here called Fire Frenzy, which is great and very characterful from the old Dreadnoughts. They get to shoot twice. Has to be at the nearest target, and it can't be moved. So, using a stratagem in your shooting phase just before a Hellbrute shoots, if that Hellbrute did not move in its movement phase, it can fire all of its weapons twice, but all of its attacks must target the nearest enemy unit. Which,
if you know you're going to be getting charged soon,
very
useful.
On a Leviathan,
no,
horrible.
Not on a Leviathan ever. No.
That will be absolutely horrible on a
I
Leviathan.
hate that thing. It's ridiculous.
And I can't wait to do it.
It's worth every point, the Leviathan.
Yeah, it always does its job. But things like that, or if you're running butcher cannons on a Contemptor, being able to fire a pair of butcher cannons twice, so that's 16 shots.
No, that's horrible.
So you do lose
how many command points?
It's only 1 command point, but you do lose the strategy of A, being able to move, and B, choosing your targets.
To be honest, the Leviathan doesn't really need to move. If you're in a scenario where something's coming at you, you can shoot twice. Let them assault you. You've still got good close combat weapons.
Oh yeah.
And a reasonable save most of the time. I mean, I
They
pounded
are
your
good.
Leviathan with tank busters,
And
took
it still-
out 9 wounds,
and
then
it still kept
sucked
on
at
rolling.
shooting it, and it was still trundling on.
So yeah, the strategy points really lend a lot to the game. I like the strategy points, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what we've got in mind for the other factions.
Yeah.
So we'll push on now. So as we're currently here on the page, the new spells from the psychic power from the new psychic powers. See, we've got a full set now. 6 powers plus 3 marked ones. In my opinion, all the powers are pretty good, apart from Gift of Chaos, which is just 1. So out of 9, we've got 8 decent ones. Actually, I'd say 8 very strong ones. Gift of Chaos, target a enemy model within 6, and it takes a toughness test. If it fails, it takes D3 plus 3 mortal wounds.
Minimum of 4 then.
But it's a toughness test. Most things have a decent toughness, so it's a bit of a waste in my opinion. When you're comparing it to things like Defex, turning invuns off.
Oh, that's savage.
Um,
That's really nice.
yeah,
If you were running, I don't know, what's got lots of psych, isn't it, for Chaos? 1,000 Suns or something.
yeah,
I'll turn off the invulnerables of that, and then we'll rapid fire everything into it.
exactly. You've got Prescience and Warp Time from the other, and Infernal Gaze from the Index, and they haven't changed. Diabolic Strength is one what GW mentioned, and is a really powerful spell. It makes your characters into outright death machines, plus 2 to the strength and an additional attack,
That's really cool.
which is quite cool. And then there's the
That'd be something worth casting on your Leviathan when it gets charged.
it can't be done on the Leviathan. It's just a
Oh, just Heretic Astartes.
yeah. So it has to be an infantry model, I'm guessing, unless we'll just check on the
That'd work well on the Possessed.
Hell Brutes. See if you can do it on a Hell Brute. Yes, Lord. Yes, Space Marines.
Yeah, Andy, stick that on Possessed. They're now strength 6 or 7. Minimum of 3 attacks.
Ooh, a Hell Brute is a Heretic Astartes model. So yes, you could put Diabolic Strength on a Heretic Astartes, on a Chaos Dreadnought of some kind, and really make them wreck face.
Yeah. Not that they don't already, with the current rules for vehicles no longer really being vehicles and having wounds.
Then you've also got the 3 god-specific ones. Zinch is a straight-up improvement to Invuns. If you've got one, you get +1 to it. If you don't, you get 5 up. Mark of Nurgle's spell is a -1 to hit on a target unit, which does stack with other things. So if you're a Night Elf player like myself, in Midnight Clad will make it a -2 to hit, making units not want to shoot at them at all.
It seemed a bit pointless, really.
Yeah. And then you've got the Mark of Sinesh one, which is a 5+ to ignore wounds on
The old Feel No Pain.
the old feel like the Feel No Pain, Disgusting Resilient, or that kind of thing. So the spells are very strong. I dare say probably some of the stronger ones at the minute. The artifacts, the relics are great. I like most of them. A couple of favourites of mine. The Murder Sword is just superb.
Just the name.
Yeah. And the fact you don't have to roll to wound with it if you're on against a named character. So what it does, it's a power sword with a slightly improved stat line. But you name a character at the beginning of the game, and you roll to hit. For every hit he goes, the character suffers a mortal wound.
Savage.
Yeah.
AP -4. Strength +1. I'm assuming you can only have one of these artifacts in each thing.
Now, yeah, the relics are upgrades to a weapon.
Just like they used to be, that's not changed.
Yeah, so you buy the weapon, then you get a free upgrade to it on one model. You can have up to 3, but it costs you command points to do so. Before the game starts, it costs you 1 to have 2 relics. Only one model can have 1 relic though. Or 3 command points to get an additional 2 relics in the army.
I hope the Orcs get our lucky stick back.
I really do. I think the lucky stick's a good old classic. Then you've got the Legion specific ones as well. Word Bearers has got a Crozius, which is quite unpleasant. It's +2 strength, -2 AP, 3 damage, and fails rerolls to wound against Imperial units. So that'll really make Imperials think twice against fighting anything with that.
Pretty sure Crozius is what shepherds use for herding sheep. It's that stick that they have.
I always thought that was a sheep hook.
That's what it's called. I had a mate who's got a very similar name to that and told me what it was.
Ah.
So,
don't believe us. We don't know anything.
No, if that's true, that's quite funny. Word Bearers with their sheep herder.
Well, they're herding the flock, aren't they? So yeah, I suppose it works.
That is randomness. It is a news and chat video after all.
Yeah. The Warlord traits. You've seen the Legion specific ones. They're all pretty decent. I really like the regular ones though. I think the regular ones are really good too. In particular, Lord of Terror. I will not be using Nine Taunter's Curse for the 1 reroll turn. I'll be using Lord of Terror to really screw with your leadership.
The opposing player must roll an extra dice when taking morale tests for units within 6 of your Warlord and use the highest results. Yeah, you're really chuffed with the way the Night Lords are actually very playable now.
Yeah, actually playing towards the character of the Legions was always a big deal for me. I wanted all the Legions, not just my own, I wanted all the Legions to be played in a way what befits them in the fluff.
Yeah.
And
until now, we've
until
not
now,
really been able to do that.
we've been really stuck on. It's been really pigeonholed into very specific builds, and you can still do them builds, and some of them are very powerful. I'm a bit more of a fluffy gamer though, so I want to play these.
That's why you've got no demons in your Night
Yeah.
Lords. Which reminds me, while you're on it, on the subject, looking at your army in the background, spawns.
Spawns.
I looked through the Codex. I have only looked at it today. Flicked through it, but the Chaos spawns, which Andy uses wolves for, with like chains on and stuff like that, which is a good proxy.
Some kind of hunting beast thing.
Chaos spawns are now. Sorry, just a sec.
Edit there.
Cheers. Chaos spawns are now ridiculously powerful. Let's see. Movement 7, weapon skill 4, so 50-50 there. Strength 5, toughness 5, 4 wounds, d6 attacks, leadership 9, save 5+. But their melee attack is user's strength, AP -2, 2 damage, and they are cheap.
Yeah, they're like 30 points or something.
The mutated beyond reason is, I'm not sure if it's the same or if it's better now, but looking at this, rolling a d3 in before close combat, Razor Claws, the hideous mutations of all chaos spawn in the unit have an AP of -4 until end of phase, and that's at attacks d6.
Yeah, you get anything
AP
other than 1, you're doing
-4.
some serious damage.
And you're really good at rolling ones on this table, or just anything, so
Yeah, I do
you're
like
going to get AP -4 a lot. Can't read what the hell that's.
Grasping Pseudopods is an additional 2 attacks until the end of the fight phase, which is amazing.
2 attacks there plus your d6, so
Yeah.
possibly 8 attacks. And remember, these are -2 as standard.
Yeah, we're going to really upset vehicles.
A minimum of 3 attacks each at AP -2.
Yeah.
And obviously you're going to take like a unit of 5 of them, so that's like 15 attacks, AP -2.
And the final one is reroll to wound, which is always good. What is a good thing to note out is their generic ability is fearsome. Enemy units within 1 inch of a chaos spawn subtract 1 from their leadership, which then obviously is magnified by your Legion trace if you're a Night Lord player, or if you're running with Raptors, possibly with an Icon Nurgle. You're already getting a -3 there, so you can really start to add up those modifiers to really make people suffer in the morale phase.
It doesn't take much for the Night Lord sort of way of playing to work out. I mean, that's -1, plus having another Night Lord unit within range, that's -2, plus however many you take out on the minus leadership. They should be able to just eradicate most guys off the board really quickly.
They are looking like playing very differently to other legions insofar as you're not wanting to wipe out units with combat and shooting. You want to do small bits of damage and really let the morale phase do the damage for you.
I mean,
so it's going to be an interesting
way
way
to see your army on the battlefield now.
I'm looking forward
should
to
be
trying
coming
it
up sometime soon.
Yeah, we'll be
we've
getting
had
them
the
out.
table and we've been playing test games and working stuff out, and we've been throwing together a painted Death Guard army. I loosely say throwing together. Just.
So yeah, we've got a bit of a Death Guard army started. It's not looking great as it is, but we've done it in such a way that we can finish the paintwork at any given time.
Yeah.
So
there's enough paint on them to be ready for the tabletop.
Yeah, they'll look good on the tabletop, and that's all what matters really.
And anyone who's a subscriber and watches our channel often knows we obviously haven't had time to do that on top of all the tutorials and everything else over the past month.
So we're going to have a quick chat about some of the more improved units. As mentioned before, Possessed have come out a little bit stronger with an extra wound. The damaging of the attacks is a -2, so we get through armour well, but they've got the random attacks, and I think GW missed a trick on that one.
I do think throwing in Sorcerer nearby or Fabulous Bill and just buff them.
Yeah.
Just buff them that extra 1.
They have got the capability of making a real mess of a unit.
Fabulous Bill's a good way to use a command point. It's
Yeah.
not a roll you can fail, so I didn't get the one I wanted for that unit. I'm going to command point that. It's a 1 in 3, so there's a good chance you'll be able to command point it and get one that's more suited for the unit that you want. So I've been saying that to our lad about his neck ones, you know what I mean? Use Sares, use your command point there because you can't fail. You will get something out of using that command point.
Obliterators, they came out just straight better than the Index. Double the amount of shots. We've still got the same rules, the stats are the same.
Double the shots.
The stats are the same, the cost is the same, we've just got 4 shots instead of 2.
Is that weapon specific or?
Well, they've got their random guns, and even then, it's like worst case scenario, you're going to get a 4-shot autocannon.
Can't complain of that, it's like AP
-1, strength 7, and it can go up to strength 9, 3 damage, -3.
Yeah.
So
taking out infantry and light vehicles.
Exactly, and it's 4 shots each, which, in my opinion, is great.
What's the ballistic skill on them?
3+ ballistic skill. So
yeah, that's fair.
Stats haven't changed. It does go back really nicely go back to the stratagems thing. So they've got a Mark of Slanesh. You can give them endless cacophony, which means they can shoot twice in a turn. Which 8 shots each. That'll make a mess of anything.
I think this is the reason people are really loving 8th at the moment. You can play with your rules and build things the way you want. I want to use this unit, it's not that strong, so I get a bubble character or a buff or a mark and I put that here and that there. All of a sudden he's getting 2 shots, he's re-rolling these, he's all of a sudden a really useful army, and your opponent charges across the board and doesn't realise he's done that, he's doing that, and he's just shredded that entire infantry unit. One
of the biggest improvements was on the much maligned Lord of Skulls. Obviously, in the Index, it took a massive points drop.
Right, yeah, we haven't mentioned that at all. Nearly everything in here has been reduced in points.
Yes, this is true.
Almost everything. I think there's
Or
one
it's
thing,
more cost effective for the
Yeah.
same.
There's one thing that went up in price. I just can't remember what that is. It's not written on the notes. So.
The Lord of Skulls though took a 100-point drop compared to the index.
That's a huge difference.
So yeah, it's now cheaper than a knight. A Lord of Skulls comes in at 365 points. For that, you get something what is formidable. It's still a weird looking figure. The tracks just don't. I've seen the Nurgle conversion one looks brilliant. The
Yeah,
tracks
it
really
makes
suit it.
sense for Nurgle.
The tracks on the Khorne one.
The tracks make it look slow, and
Yeah.
it's Khorne. It's supposed to be fast and bloodthirsty.
But
So
its upper torso, the robot torso, I think looks amazing.
you can't buy the Forge World legs for them now.
Yeah, but that's a completely different vehicle.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's a completely different vehicle. So to really it's in a strange place for me at the minute. I really like half of it, and I like the rules, and I like its fact that it's very cost effective now. But the tracks just don't work for me. Although that's just my opinion, I'm sure some guys out there love it, and more power to you if you do.
There's got to be someone.
Yeah.
Laws of probability.
So, bad stuff. Things what I think we've dropped a brick on. Obviously, I've mentioned the possessor. I think we really need a bit more reliability on our attacks. Maybe just give them 2 attacks.
I think that's gutting that, because I spent
Yeah.
a few days recently just throwing together some possessed that were all kit bashed. Just to find out they weren't as strong as I was hoping they would be.
Yeah.
But they're going to make up the numbers in that army, so...
Yeah, it'll still be cool. No combat weapons on units still. I really do miss that. And I think a lot of other Chaos players will miss that one. The options of having bolt guns and chainswords and pistols from previous editions was really cool, and it made them really feel different to a Loyalist Marine. I'm going to miss that, but you know, it's one of them things. We've lost it, so we've lost it. And mutilators. Oh, come on, guys.
What was wrong with them? I can't remember. Oh, movement 4 on an assault unit. Well, on a close combat unit.
Yeah, we've got
Genius.
no guns, random weapons, so we've got the same sort of rule as the obliterators, but are a close combat unit with a movement of 4. Wow.
It's the warp path, we were on about this before.
If you warp speed them, it gives them a second movement in a turn.
That's 8. But that's casting that and wasting your sidekick on there every bloody turn.
They can deep strike, which gets them into combat once.
Yeah.
But once they've done that, they're still movement 4 again, which causes the same problem as before. Other than that, the rest of the stats are great. The random melee attacks, random strength and
They can
damage.
very easily, after being deep, they can deep strike, kill a unit, but after that, anyone who wants to, with most units, can just outmaneuver them by moving back 5 or 6 inches and being like, yeah, I'll just move back here.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll advance that a little bit further back. It's going to take you several turns to catch up to me now.
Yeah. They ain't catching up with anyone anytime soon. Whatever they hit, they will delete. They hit really hard for a unit of 3 models. But 3 attacks, strength 5 plus D3. So they are very hard hitting unit.
4 minimum.
But they're just too slow. They need some kind of way to get in. And you want to be using warp time on other things instead
Do you
of that.
think with them having flesh metal and being a living embodiment of their armour and their weaponry, that they'd have adapted to be able to move at least 5?
Yeah. At least keep up with Terminator.
Yeah, it seems like a bad number to put on there. 4, that's not anything. That's about the size of a bubble for some characters.
Yeah. So they're not outmaneuvering anybody anytime soon. And like I say, you've got more important things to be using your warp time on. Although, if anyone gets any mileage out of mutilators, I would love to hear it.
Yeah.
I would love to see some stories come up about how your mutilators are handling stuff, if you're using them.
I'd like to see you do that, just to prove Andy wrong on the mutilators.
Yeah, prove me wrong, guys. I'd love it.
We're going to get a video soon of someone with like several units of mutilators just tabling somebody and like, oh, how wrong were we?
And also, on the note of mutilators, obviously the thing what hasn't changed is their figures.
they could really use sorting out.
They needed sorting out, but Dave got released. I didn't like them from day one.
Talking about figures, when is a new Abaddon coming out? Because he just looks ridiculous now.
Yeah. Abaddon is too small.
He is.
He looks tiny compared to his mates, and I've seen the conversion of Fabius Bile, what people are doing with primary stuff.
He looks good.
That looks good. I think that would be a good way for G-Dub to really improve on Fabius Bile's fig.
I do think Games Workshop, with all the work they put in here, they've got to know it's about time to scale up certain characters.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm an orc player, and it's a bit off top. Gazgul Thraka, he's big, but we were on about this. He should be about the size of a kill can by now, if the Primaris Marines are that big.
He should be big. Abaddon should be the size of a comparative size of the new Araman fig, because he's been scaled up as well, as this new Khan. So these big special characters we need improving, and he's such a dated fig.
They're sort of getting left behind, but I'm sure Games Workshop have got it on the list of things to do.
Yeah, he'll be on that list, and he really does deserve it, because Abaddon in the new Codex, then any Black Legion players out there are going to be wanting to use him at every opportunity. The bloke is superb. 2 additional command points for 1 model.
Yeah, why wouldn't you take him?
Yeah.
I'm sort of, what I'm hoping, it's just a theory, I'm hoping that they've done that because they're going to release a new Abaddon and they want them sales to go up.
Yeah, I'm hoping
I
so.
would. You know what I mean?
I really do hope it comes out at Christmas. That'll be a really good Christmas release.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing some painting tutorials on him either.
Yeah. It's a good looking figure, it's just too small now.
Yeah, just scale him up a bit, change a few bits and pieces on him, alternate head, because you're always complaining about the flesh heads.
Yeah, I don't like flesh heads on most of my stuff, especially Terminators. It tends to look a bit weird. Well, that's you for me. Anyway, that's enough on the Codex Chaos Marines. I hope you enjoyed it, and I think we've rambled enough.
We have rambled enough, so I guess it's time to round off. All in all, the Codex itself, the artwork's brilliant.
Yeah.
There is a ton of fluff in there. There was some old artwork, some new artwork that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, it was a nice combination of old and new artwork. Also, it was a nice little nod to the Adam Dembski Bowden Nightlord books. In that, there is a little bullet point in the Nightlord section saying that they are reforming as a legion, which is awesome.
I can see your Christmas list stacking up already.
Yeah, my wallet is already bleeding.
Yeah, so as we're rounding off, what we're hoping to have come up over the next few weeks or so is we are going to be doing those battle reports. We've subtly been throwing in there that we've been painting that Death God army. Andy's already got a Night Lord's army. Yeah,
I've got a couple of other armies to use, so it's not going to always be Chaos versus Chaos or whatever.
If you guys don't mind watching some other battle reports where things aren't fully painted and then watching them progress as they get painted, let us know in the comments. But at the moment we're trying to get something finished.
Yeah.
We're going to add those up, and we're going to round off the month of Nurgle in our next video in a bit.
We will be taking a week out because it's summer holidays and we have families. So next week's videos might be delayed by a day or two.
Possibly.
Depending on how much we can get done this week. As, let's face it, families need to be looked after.
Yeah, that's true. They do come first.
Yeah. But other than that, thank you for watching this video. I hope you gained something out of it. Listen to us waffle for half an hour.
We also do like to read your comments. We don't respond to all of them because we're starting to get quite a lot now.
Yeah.
But if you've got something to say, got your opinions on that,
and if
jot them down. If we have time, we will write back to you. Leave another comment. We
always reply to anything said on our Facebook page. So if you want to get in touch with us directly, Facebook is a good way to go.
Follow the links.
Follow the links in the vid. And well, we'll catch you next time, guys.
Yeah, catch you next time.